Hello YouTubers and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to follow the previous format where we are going to split the weekly news in four parts. First part is international news, second is domestic news, third is ancillary news, that is ancillary industries with renewable industry, that is EVs and hydrogen energy storage, battery storage, those kind of things. The fourth video is research and innovation in renewable industry, that is solar, wind, hydro, and other things. So this is for market awareness, brand activation, market insights, etc. etc. So without any further wait, let's get started. Hello YouTubers, and in this video we are going to cover ancillary industry news and updates. So ancillary industries regarding solar industry are batteries, battery energy storage, hydrogen fuel cells, green hydrogen, waste to energy. So all these make up for ancillary industries related to solar industry. So let's get started. So Jinko Solar has signed a shipping agreement and logistics agreement with the largest logistics company in the world, that is Maersk, and they are doing this because they want to control the prices of cargo shipment, because the cargo shipment was affecting their orders and it was affecting solar plants around the globe. And I personally know that the shipping cost for a solar container in India has increased about 7 times on developers, and this was causing stagnant growth in the solar industry. So to remove this in the pandemic era, they have decided to sign the deal. So Togo is also moving towards installing battery energy storage for their solar power plants, and they want to supply the grid 24/7. Amazing news from Africa. So this was a good news from the biggest manufacturer of polysilicon, raw polysilicon ingots, wafers, that is GCL. So GCL, in last week also we covered that GCL was on a selling spree. They were doing the divestment thing that our current government is also doing. So they were selling off their assets to the Chinese state owned government because they thought that being an independent power producer is not profitable, and they didn't want to go to a hassle of maintaining those plants. So they sold the assets, and now they are in a profitable state so that they can focus on being getting back on the number one mark of solar module manufacturers in China. So they are saying that we are going to focus on hydrogen power plants and installing green hydrogen concepts, and they are saying we will focus on solar EPC projects. And also GCL makes wafers, cells, and they have a 60 gigawatt line currently, and they want to add 15 gigawatts in TOPCon. So they have split this 15 gigawatts, and 5 gigawatts is TOPCon, 5 is HJT, and 5 is perovskites, and their target is by 2023. So they are saying that we will be focusing on TOPCon for the current year, and HJT and TOPCon mix for the Q4, and perovskites will come in 2022. So amazing news from GCL. So this was a first step that was taken, and obviously it is going to come from America. So New York power plant has swapped natural gas for renewable hydrogen. So what they have done is, because renewable hydrogen is currently being researched, so what they did is they blended green hydrogen with natural gas, and the blend was 5% green hydrogen, and they are saying that we will gradually increase it to 30%, and in future we will increase it to 100%. So 100% gas will be replaced by green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is going to be the new fuel of the new world. So amazing news for green hydrogen. So this was another big news. The plan for hydrogen plant of 50 gigawatt green hydrogen that was planned in Western Australia was scrapped earlier. If you people have been following the news videos that I have been posting earlier on the channel, we covered this. Australian government put it out for a vote, and the general public declined that it is not environmentally safe to give away 15,000 kilometer square of land, and they are saying it was not feasible. So now this company has again filed for the application to the Australian government, and it is asking for a double capacity, that is 100 gigawatts of green hydrogen hub in Western Australia, and they want to supply this green hydrogen to the world. So they are saying that first phase will be 50 gigawatts, and this 50 gigawatts will come from solar wind combined, and it will produce 3.5 million tons of green hydrogen. So big news for green hydrogen this week. So this was another big news that had a big impact on the world economy of cryptocurrency, and this news was from China because Chinese government banned crypto mining, as they also said that crypto miners are using our electricity from coal and rivers, and they are polluting the environment, they are contributing to polluting the environment. So they banned the crypto mining in China, and that is the reason the Bitcoin had a huge crash last month. And now, due to this reason, Chinese crypto miners have moved out of China and they have gone to Kazakhstan. And Kazakhstan is a good place for them because it is, first, it is business friendly, they want investments from outside. Second, the power is very cheap, that is 3 cents per kilowatt hour, so it is very cheap, it is like dirt cheap. And third is, it is a cold place, so the crypto miners don't need ACs to cool their mining machines. So this was an amazing article. Those who are into cryptocurrencies and into mining, into open source, do read this article. It is on Bloomberg Quint, and it was amazing insight as to what is the future of Bitcoin mining in the world and how it is going to be perceived in the future. So good news for crypto miners as well. Another news, Shell has also agreed that they will be joining clean hydrogen project in Norway. Of course, everybody is moving to green hydrogen, and why would the fossil companies be left behind? Because fossil companies have already moved to renewable industry, and they are also targeting to buy the assets. So Shell is saying that we are going to develop a project, and they have signed a memorandum of understanding with their investor Cape Omega, and they are going to set up a large scale hydrogen production facility in Okra in Western Norway. So another news, this was an amazing article. If you want to read it, please go read it. It was an amazing article, and I also read the white paper by the MIT scientists, so it was like mind blowing. So MIT scientists have, held a futuristic approach, and they have calculated and compared the LCOE, the levelized cost of energy for hydrogen fired gas turbines. So they are comparing, like, if we replace gas turbines with hydrogen, like if we replace natural gas in gas turbines with hydrogen, green hydrogen gas, so what would be the levelized cost of energy from green hydrogen? And if we use it to ramp down the peak demands and meet the peak and off peak demands, so what is the cost with green hydrogen in gas turbines, and what is the cost of static storage, that is lithium ion storage, that is battery energy storage of the grid? So they have compared this, and they have come out with amazing numbers. And in this long run, green hydrogen is for the win, because a, it is non-polluting, and b, it is less intensive in resources. So it is an amazing article, go read it. Another news in green hydrogen, obviously, Wazilla, that is a global power plant developer, they have begun testing in Finland of reciprocating internal combustion engines to run on pure hydrogen. So they are saying that we are going to replace engines running on gas and fossil fuels to run on green hydrogen, and they have disclosed the plans by 2025, and they'll say that their engines will be completely able to run on 100% hydrogen. Currently they are also mixing, blending the fuel, that is blending fossil fuels with green hydrogen, and they are saying that currently we have achieved 25% hydrogen in their engine capacity, and they are saying that the future of electric power generation uh, is going to be on green hydrogen, so they are testing it as a fuel. So this was a big news from Germany. Sonnen battery is still running after 28,000 full charge cycles. So the company says that they have charged and discharged battery cells at a C rate of 1 and the depth discharge of 100% for over 8 years. So they have the data to prove it, and they are saying that our batteries have achieved 28,000 full cycle charges, and the retention rate is also defined. Depth of discharge, they have told 100%. They have this was a research project and internal quality project, so they have given a huge details in the white paper of the company, that dendrites are formed, how the layers are destroyed. So amazing, go read it. Okay, so this has also been done, and so a company has made a portable hydrogen fuel cell generator with a power output of 400 watts. So this is amazing for small RV camping solution, a camping site. So this is an amazing solution, and it can be paired with battery storage. So fuel cells never go bad, and batteries might degrade, but the fuel cells won't degrade. As long as you have hydrogen to feed it, they are going to produce power. So this news came from India. Center for Nano and Soft Matter Sciences, that is in Bangalore. They have tied up with Indian Petroleum, ONGC, and other government agencies, and they have researched upon how we will be effectively using industrial waste for energy storage in batteries in the near future in our country, because industrial waste is being generated uh, by huge numbers, and it is in our waste mix currently, and this waste is rich in materials that can store charge. So they are saying that this industrial waste would increasingly form the base for energy storage in batteries in the future. So a new residential lithium-ion battery has been developed in Germany, and this battery can work at 1000 volts, and the input power is 18 kilowatts. So, so this is a smart battery, and the battery can function as a smart grid. So it can decide when to discharge into the grid and when to discharge into the home, and when to use the heat to heat the home. So it can work in parallel with the heat exchange pump as well. So this battery is a very smart battery that I have seen right now. So it was good, and this comes to the end. So this was all for the ancillary news, and I hope you liked it. It was short, crisp, precise, and all the links have been attached. And if you have not been reading the articles, there is a link in the description, and also you can follow me on LinkedIn. So I keep posting this PPT on LinkedIn, so you can download the PPT, share it with your friends, click on the links and read the articles, read the white papers. And if you just want to download the PPT and don't want to follow me, there is a link in the description of SlideShare. So you will have to directly or indirectly connect with me on LinkedIn. So you will have to download the PPT from SlideShare. And there is also a mailer list that we have recently started. You can subscribe to the mailer list on our website. The link is in the description. So you'll get weekly PPTs, weekly videos, and monthly PDF, where all the news articles, links, and all the pictures like this are covered, and the short description, executive details. So it is an executive summary PDF that we are mailing as a newsletter. So hit thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.